That's his primary job. But he also has another primary. The other is volunteering and charity service he provides to people and organizations. Balaji, you are a perfectionist. He does justice for every role he undertakes. He's a theater artist. And about a stage friend, you can see him act and set up stage sets, real one. Even I had an opportunity to have a complete train, thing made by him. So excellent job. He's a passionate woodworker. He would build steps for the Navratri celebrations for everyone. Maybe almost everyone in this audience has one of his steps. So great woodwork. It is also a basement karaoke singer. And just like he's the best among us. So you know how. So other than this, Balaji is a co-founder of Kanava. It's another organization in India, a home for destitute children. And now he has 32 daughters, including 2 biological children. He knows each child's life at Kanavagam. He provides counseling, emotional support to all the children in Kanavagam and the children in the world. In 2013, he co-founded Give the Future International, a non-profit organization to provide educational assistance to underprivileged children. This is not it. Balaji also participated in Rebuilding Together and Habitat for Humanity, utilizing his construction skills to renovate and build homes for the poor. Now, Balaji is also in the advisory role in the Reaction Team, an organization that supports anyone in distress, not only in USA, but globally. I know this organization is also working in Ukraine right now in Poland. Balaji provides guidance to domestic violence victims as part of the Reaction Team for the past 2 years and put N number of hours. So we're going to come to the climax because this is where he got his award, and we're going to explain more about what he has done, how many hours and everything in this organization. The Reaction Team nominated him for this well-deserved award. So to say more about the specific award, I wanted to, my co-MC, Usha Krishnan Kumar. Now, a few words about Usha Krishnan Kumar. She is the senior partner in New York Life. And the one important thing about her, she got the all-women team. 35 of them. And she's the first in New York Life to get, okay, it's 40, it's growing. I suggest we safe and say 50. She is a very, very talented woman in service of the community, extremely influential in New York Life. So without any delay, please, we want to introduce Kumar.
Thank you so much for the generous words, Ram. We are proud to felicitate the Presidential Volunteer Service Award recipient, Balaji Prakash Rao, the local residents of Edison, where we belong. We're so extra proud. Indeed, a deserving person for the award, a very selfless person who is always willing to help others. Wherever service and charity are involved, you could hear his name. Personal for me, all this means is women empowerment, which is very close to my heart. And also, I had the privilege to co-found and be a co-trustee with him for the Gift of Future International, wherein we were educating close to 75 underprivileged children back home. And currently, we are involved with the Operation Homefront, where the veterans and serving army officers, children, we kind of help them with their education and other supplies, so that we do this annually here. Now, apart from all these things, which comes under the limelight umbrella of an organization where visibility is there, right? That is always there. However, as a person, Balaji, whether anybody is watching him or not, he's still selflessly serving someone. I still remember telling my kids all the time, I don't know if you remember, years ago, we are always part of several organizations. Whatever they do, Balaji is part of it. So we were driving from New York. I think, if I'm right, Kavita, it's the Tamil Nadu Foundation fundraising. So it was almost past midnight and we are driving from Flushing, New York to we wonder how 24 hours is sufficient for him. No one would see Balaji wasting his time or doing nothing. He's always cheerful, willing to help at any event or party. I always joke around that the party or the event is over if Balaji leaves. Because he will be invited as a guest there, but guess what? He will go and help them, take out the stage down or help them put them. That is the kind of service he provides to all of us in the community. Now, coming back to why we are here today. I would say, for those who relate to that back home, there's a veteran actor, Shivaji Ganeshan, right? When someone says he got an actor award, you're like, wow. I mean, what? The award gets the privilege by giving it to him. Similarly, when people told me that Balaji got a President's Service Award, I'm like, yeah, okay, but I know that is not what he's looking for. But again, it's important. I always tell Balaji, like all of you here, right? You'd agree with me, the power is important to do more good for the people, right? So I said it's important we recognize this. The reaction team, it's a highly credible award coming out from the President's Volunteer Service Award. So I want to say a little about why we are here today and why he's getting this award. Reaction Team is a non-profit organization registered in the United States to support Indian diaspora worldwide during emergency crises, but not limited to all humanitarian grounds. Their global volunteers are real with years of experience helping families, individuals during crisis situations. Their global volunteers are highly active in Poland, Kuwait, Dubai, Australia, China, and the United States of America. Mr. Balaji Prakash Rao joined Reaction Team in 2019. He was asked to join them as an advisor. And he is truly a mitra, a friend. Why I'm saying this, he runs an organization, Mitra Foundation, for many decades now, along with his lovely wife, Kavita Ramaswamy, who's also very, very popular in the community for her services. She's an attorney, immigration attorney. And they've been helping more than hundreds of women, who've been subjected to domestic abuse. And of course, now it's domestic abuse for women and men, right, Balaji? And being an immigrant, many women from Indian diaspora have limited knowledge, and his expertise through this Mitra Foundation helped many to come out of distress situations, realized women to fly independently, empowered them, and motivated them. As an advisor, he's a great support for this women-owned business organizations, non-profit organization, and spent almost, I'm sure it's way more than that, but as usual, as he's humble, spent 898 hours to support many women in distress. I would like to also hear, that is the reason why he qualified for the presidential honor today. I would also like to admit, as Reaction Team had asked us to, share with all of you few testimonies from the Reaction Team of the women who benefited through Balaji's relentless hours of service. First person, she came out saying, I came as a dependent to USA after marriage. One day my husband abandoned me and left from USA. I have no idea what to do, where to go, but reached out to Reaction Team. Balaji sir have been introduced to me and I have a strong mind to now stand in the side of truth and to empower myself. Thank you, Balaji. Another person added, I'm a permanent resident with a high school kid. I have been told to move out of my home in North Carolina one day. My kid preferred to stay with me. After connecting with the Reaction Team, connected with Balaji sir, and now I'm clear what are my next steps. Third testimony coming out of the people who benefited out of his service. I'm a working woman, I have no kids. The way my husband treated me, I got panicked and moved out of my home, assuming that he will call me back or take me back to have a happy life. I got a lot of visa issues and that hit my survival. I reached reaction team and Balaji said, who helped me in my visa issues. And later I understood that it was the intentional behavior of my spouse for me to move out of my home, which ended in depression. With the help of reaction team and especially Balaji sir's guidance, I am an independent woman now. So we have many more testimonies, that will take the whole day away. But again, the reason why we are here is specifically for his, as Ram mentioned, he's a multifaceted personality, helping in different forms, having a dream home for destitute children back home. But today, the reason we are here for his contribution to help the domestic abuse, women and men in the United States of America. And the reaction team is honoring him today, and he has got the highest award from the President of the United States for his relentless services for the women and to empower women. It doesn't stop with helping them out of that situation. What he does is he moves further to make sure they are economically independent. The guidance continues. It's not like, oh, today I don't know where to go, middle of the night. Each time we visit their house, he lives in North Edison, there's somebody there. Last 2 weeks ago, I had somebody, a lady from Syria, she was there living with them for 2-3 months, and he also has a foster home, right? So you offered yourself as a foster home. I always tell, right, me and Kavita, we have faced a lot of situations where people needed help. And Indians, now we are like 3rd, 4th generation, but not many have come forward to offer themselves as foster homes, right? So that is something, the step that he has taken. So today, the Youth Foundation for their services through Balaji, that is what the reaction team is honoring today. So without further ado, we would like to bring on stage the man of the moment, Balaji Prakash Rao. At this moment, we'd like to, please take your seats, thank you. We'd like to invite on stage our chief guest of today, Mayor Sam Joshi, and his team, the councilmen, to give the award to Balaji Prakash Rao. This is our traditional Indian way of talking.
Yeah. So a quote comes to my mind. Your greatness is not what you have, it's what you give. So to that effect, I'm happy to read this letter from the White House. The White House, Washington. The American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us. I congratulate you on taking it upon yourself to contribute to the public good. And I'm proud to present you with the President's Gold Volunteer Service Award in recognition of your 898 hours of service to this great nation. Throughout our country's history, the American story has been strengthened by those who combine an optimism about what can be with the resilience to turn that vision into reality. I know I'm not alone in recognizing that those who are willing to step up and volunteer in service of community and country are essential to the ongoing work of forthcoming our most perfect union. By sharing your time and passion, you are helping discover and deliver solutions to the challenges we face. Solutions that we need now more than ever. We are living in a moment that calls for hope and light and love. Hope for our futures, light to be see our way forward, and love for one another. Through your service, you are providing all three. On behalf of the American people, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you for your volunteer leadership, and I encourage you to continue to answer the call to serve. The country is counting on you. Signed, the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So Balaji may be wondering, okay, you gave me all these things. Where is my certificate? Where is my award? I got the medal, so I still have it with me, the certificate from the, president. So the mayor, please hand this over to. Oh.
Yeah, at this time, you can take your seats back. I would like the award recipient, Balaji Prakash Rao, to give his acceptance speech.
To be really frank, I feel very awkward. First of all, I just want to start by saying thank you to the reaction team. They're doing a phenomenal job. Especially my main contact out there is Lavanya. She has two little kids, and then I still remember how Kavita and I started with, before Keith and Sana were born, and how hard it is to balance the family as well as to the other part. Lavanya and team are doing a phenomenal job. Thank you for the nomination. And I just want to thank my sister from another mother, Devi Nagapan, and Usha, our family friend, for pulling this together with so many of the organizations. Thank you for doing this. And then especially thanks to the mayor, honorable mayor, and then his entire crew up here coming here. I know you guys are very busy and a lot of things to do, but in spite of all that, for you guys to come here, it's really it means a lot to us. So thank you. And then I want to thank Saida Tapidam. They say it's another family for us. So Raghuji for immediately offering. I heard that he said he wants to take everything, and then there was kind of who needs to take responsibility for this one. So really appreciate everybody coming here. Our friends and family means a lot to us. I just wanted to focus purely on the women's issues, how exactly it started, so that way what we learned and how we can do things better as a community. It all started because we have been raised where women have been given a lot of importance. My mom went to Stella Maris College, a Catholic institution, in 1951. So my sisters were all more educated than the boys at home. So for us,
we didn't even know like what a domestic abuse would look like. So all our friends and families, everybody's all having a nice time. So it never occurred to us like, somebody can be so brutal and abused at home by their own loved ones. So when we came here, it was 96, 95 I came here, and then I got married to my beautiful wife, Kavita, in 96. So it was like 2 years into the marriage, and then she started abusing me. No, just kidding. No, we were just driving by, and we were living in an apartment, and we saw our friend's wife. She was stranded in cold weather, just a plain churidar, and it was in the middle of the winter. And we passed by and asked her, like, hey, what are you doing? It's like crazy cold outside. Like, I think it was like in late December or January sometime. And she said, no, I just want to get some fresh air. So I said, okay, so just pass by. So 2 days later, we saw her again out there. So it sounds something is fishy up here, because if you want to get fresh air, you'll at least be dressed up for that, have few layers to come out. And when we kind of like, talk to her, like, talk to us, like, is there anything going on? That's when she opened up. So we came to know that our friend has been abusing her a lot. What he would do is he would strand her in the cold weather until her, muscles are really cold to the bone. We'll bring her in, beat her up. So that way she won't feel the beatings at the time, but once the body warms up, she will feel the pain. So he was such a sadist person. So then we intervened. Then also what happened was, that's the first person to come and stay with us for a week. And then we tried to, recoup her. But unfortunately, what happened was he said, no, let's try to resolve it. Let's take it back home in India, and then we'll try to resolve it. So she went home, trusted him, never came back. Guess what? Because she was on a dependent visa, on a H4, and then this guy, in a very calculated way, in a criminal mind, he never renewed her visa. So she couldn't come and then fight back here. And so we helped her remotely, those things resolved. Then only it came to her mind, like maybe it's just the tip of the iceberg. There could be even more women being abused. And then I'm sure there, like, you would come across many, people, men especially, have the dual personality. From the outside, what you see is not exactly the true reality when you go home. So that's when we started. We said, we have to help. We have to do something. We have no idea what to do. The foundation thing, which always we thought was, basic thing is the love and care for anything which you do from your heart, like how exactly we do it. Then we slowly kind of refined our process, and then our training at work. I'm a Six Sigma black belt at work, so that helped to streamline the process. How exactly we need to do. So we said, let's start with counseling. Like let's be a good listener. Let's see like what exactly they have to say. And then also, we don't want to immediately jump into breaking up the families, because sometimes, the marriages could be very early on the stages. We don't want to break the families apart. We said we are willing to listen, and then we're willing to even counsel your husbands too, if you want to, like depending upon which they are. And then so we started with the counseling part, and then we slowly started helping them into, making sure that they have a safe and sound environment where they can just, bounce back. We helped them with with talking to the cops, making sure they're getting the TRO, the temporary restraining order, or even the full one, final one, and slowly, counseling. But one thing which what we always wanted to do is, which what our parents taught us was, never tell the child what exactly they need to become. Let them become whatever they want to. So the same thing we kind of like approach, like rather than telling the women who are distressed what is the right thing for them to do, let's hear what are all the options they want to do. And then even though they disagree, still support them. It's their decision, so they need to take control of that. So as part of that one, we look at all the options. So the various things we look into, like their immigration status, the family status, if they have children, they have work, they have education or not. So based upon that, we'll just say, these are all the options you have. These are all the pros and cons. And then now you tell us what you want to do. Which one would be the path you want to go? Then we recommend certain things, what they have to do. And then after that, as I said, even though we disagree, we tend to support them through that. So this was going on. And one of the things, this definitely wouldn't even be possible without my wife. She has spent N number of hours with me on this. Definitely, I definitely have to share this with her on this. So it came to us related to like, people are trying to exploit the immigration status, right? So how people can be kicked out of the country, still, abuse them. Then the other thing which happened to us was with many, which I heard like this, that huge deterrent for them is people try to sue you, right? One guy, he dragged me to the court for a frivolous complaint that I tried to kill him. He put a murder charge on me. So I had to go to the court. The judge said, dude, you came this close. The reason why is because even after they engaged with the cops, it's going to the court, you should never be interacting with this guy. Because whatever you say or do can be utilized against you. But I know what you guys are doing. You guys are doing a noble service, so I'm going to let this pass. I know this guy is making shit up, but you got to be very careful. So that's the big lesson we learned, right? So then he didn't stop out there. He went like a few years later, he became smarter, and then he filed a civil complaint against me, stating that, he got very depressed because of him for, wrong advice. Now I have to go through this. So even that frivolous charge was thrown out, but we had to spend like, dollars and time and effort. So we said, do we fight this guy now? Or do we utilize our energy to make things better? So then we hit our crossroads to say, do we walk away from this? Because why do we need to go through this trouble? Like, there's always going to be like people are going to do it. Our kids were very young. We have twin daughters. And with our immigration, we didn't get the green card of citizenship at the time. So we said, what do we do? That's when, I think our parents, did the right thing. Stand up for what is right. Right? No matter what, even if it's going to be impacting you in the future, but, if it's going to be benefiting, people in the future, do it. Just stand up for it. So I always remember, there are like many freedom fighters here in the US or, in India, that they sacrifice their life for the betterment of the society. It's not about our time. It is like, how we sow the seed up here so it is beneficial for the future generations. So we said, we will stand, no matter what. And that's where, Kavita was standing like a rock supporting. We will just do it. So that's the second thing. So don't buckle down for pressure. So we have to do that stuff. So then slowly things happened up here. The other issue which we got to was there is no correlation or there is no relationship or there's no dependency between the family court and then the immigration court. So family court decides based upon what is best for the family, but not considering like what is their immigration status, especially when kids are born here, the US citizens, mom is still on a dependent visa. When they're going to say like, yep, shared parenting, but divorce is given, women becomes illegal. So what do they do with it, right? So that is the biggest challenge we're still facing, like how exactly we need to address it. The other part we wanted to do was, how can we, empower women? As Usha was rightly saying, it is not about giving a helping hand. How do we make sure that, what they can walk on their own? How can they be financially independent? So that's the thing which you're focusing. I've had a number of conversations with, Nagapan, to see like, what can we do from an American Tamil Entrepreneurs Association, and we can be able to spread it across. How can we make sure that women can be empowered, not only making the decision, their own decision during tough times, but once they come out of it, how exactly they're going to survive. So that's the key part of it. So we wanted to focus on those two aspects of it. And also the biggest challenge we face in India, it's like, there is one common law for all family issues. So you can call anybody in the north, they will be able to guide you saying like, this is what exactly the family court would work. Whereas in the US, the huge challenge is every state is different. So you cannot take like one person to just do this for, right? So the biggest challenge we face is like, how do we get like pro bono attorneys? So over the years, we gained a lot of experience, talking to people, gaining the experience through the cases. We learned a lot, but there's a huge gap out there. I know many, many people up here, they're individually supported. Like I know like a few, I would just say like Lakshman. He drove from New Jersey all the way to Pennsylvania to pick a person who was abused and then bring it back home here. So there are so many people have worked. I know I would definitely miss a lot of people. So there's so many people you guys doing a lot, but how do we make sure that this becomes a repeatable process? So that way there is a system, there is a framework, how women can go and approach and then make it easier for them. So that is what we wanted to do. So the three things we want to do was, number one, work with this immigration issues and then family, but how exactly we bridge the gap in there. Number two, like working with entrepreneurs associations that we can make them, empower them in there. So those two things are, that's what exactly we want to focus on. And definitely, without your support, each and every one of you, this wouldn't be possible. And I definitely want to thank my kids. I know right from their birth, they have invariably seen somebody at home. When everybody says that, it's my home, my space, they've always opened their heart. So they say, let them be here, be working on it. So definitely, thank you. Thanks them for their understanding. And then thank you all for coming here. I mean, it really means a lot for supporting us and encouraging us. As I said, even though it was a little bit awkward for me to take this one, but definitely it feels so good to see you guys here to support us. And, definitely, we can depend on you guys for support. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Balaji. A round of applause for the man of the moment today. Thank you. At this moment, I would also like to welcome and recognize Sudha Raja, who is the Deputy Chief of Staff of the New Jersey Attorney General Office. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And now I would welcome our chief guest of today, our Mayor of Edison, Sam Joshi, to say a few words.
Good morning. That was so inspirational. I think he deserves another round of applause for that. First, since this Mandir has been built, whenever I come here, what I love about it the most is that there's a strong sense of community. And every time that I come here, it's that sense of community that binds everyone here together. And I'm always so inspired because you do everything together, and on top of that, you do terrific work. So it's wonderful to see that, quite frankly, the quintessential resident right here is being recognized by the president. And that is such a great honor. And on top of that, what it is the type of work that he's doing as well. Too often, when, especially in our community, Edison has so many immigrants. Edison has, when you look around the room, we're all immigrants. We've planted ourselves in the US, planted ourselves in or around Edison area. And we only have so many opportunities and so much time to be able to do certain things. And we can easily get caught up in our career because, quite frankly, when you're an immigrant, you're just trying to survive, right? You're trying to stay in your lane. You're just trying to survive. But he broke out of that shell. He broke out of that and said, you know what? Let's always do what's right. And he took on an issue of domestic violence, which is something that is so difficult to talk about. It's hard for people to break out of the norm and address an issue that is so personal. And sometimes we may see something and it's hard for someone to address it. But that story you just said with you and your wife and your former friend, that goes to show the reality of the problems that communities have. But to be able to address it head on shows that how much strength and courage you have as a resident, as a person. That is amazing. And people need to be more like you. Your inspiration. It is truly an honor to be here, to be part of this. And I would venture to say that the council and myself would love to honor you as well in Edison Township through a proclamation and on the council as well. But again, you're an inspiration. You deserve everything, and continue to inspire people. Continue to inspire your not just your family, your kids, and to your wife. Again, can we give her a round of applause? Amazing. Goes to show the force behind the family and what type of a difference you can make. But truly, congratulations. I'm honored to be here. quickly recognize Council President Joe Coyle. He's going to lead this effort with Councilman Patil, Councilwoman Joyce Freeman, and Councilman Vic Patel. We're all here because we support you, your work, and that's why we're going to recognize you as well. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for our Mayor of Edison and the councilman. He is the youngest mayor in America. It's awesome. At this time, there are a few organizations that have also expressed interest to felicitate him today. So I know we are running short of time, so we're going to call the American Entrepreneur Association Executive Committee members, Ram Nagappan, founder Venki and Krishna. Balaji, can you please come on stage? Ram?
So, Prakash, Balaji mentioned in his speech that he's going to partner with the American Tamil Entrepreneurs Association. We are part of the organization ATEA. And what we want to do is work with him in terms of helping these, women who come through abuse to upskill them, train them, and get them job placements or help them become entrepreneurs. So we're going to be working with him closely on that.
So, Ram, give me the numbers. Yeah. So, in honoring Balaji, we as American Tamil Entrepreneur Association are nominating him on our board as a program director for women empowerment. So really appreciate it. It means a lot, because especially we can make a huge difference in the community. So I was talking to them, I'll give you a quick brief. I think Venki alluded to it, but basically what we want to do is we want to call it as a 3S program. So it's skill building, skill bridging, and skill matching, right? So what we want to do is when a woman is abused, when she comes out of the abusive relationship, we want to identify what her current skill is and try to match it with what opportunities there. So based upon that one, either we build it, we bridge it, or we directly match it. So that's kind of the intent. So I'm working with a few of my friends, like Aarti is here, and then I'm working with Tanu, and then they are all in the HR field. So we want to see how we can try to formalize it. So that way, women who are coming out of this abusive relationship can stand on their own feet. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, okay, I would like to invite New Jersey Tamil Sangam President Bala, Vice President, and the Treasurer, the executive team who is here. Balaji, you want to stay there? You can see the women empowerment here. This is a 30+ years old New Jersey local Tamil non-profit organization. Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to invite the Shraddha Foundation, the founder, Colonel Virendra Tavatia, Seema Jagtiani, and Krishna Vijay Krishna Chari, to felicitate Balaji. Thank you. At this time, I would like to welcome Prema, Vice President of Manavi. Manavi is a similar foundation like Mitchell for domestic abuse of women. Over to Prema and her team member Leena Bhatt. Please come on stage. Congratulations, Balaji. We really appreciate knowing about you and your story. It was very inspiring. My name is Prema Radham. I'm the Vice President Board of Directors for Manavi Inc. We are a New Jersey-based organization, 35 plus years old. Our mission is to end all forms of violence against men and women, all gender-based violence. So the mission and the work that you do is very close to our heart. And we have a lot of resources. We are a state-recognized agency. This is our core work that we do at Manavi. So we really look forward to collaborating with you and providing you the assistance and services that we can. I'm just surprised I haven't met you before. So I have members of the staff and volunteers of Manavi here, and we can't do this work without volunteers. So we run on volunteers. We have a full staff of 10 plus right here in New Brunswick, New Jersey. So our organization is ready to support anyone that reaches out to us. We have a 24/7 hotline where calls are answered at any time of the day and night. We also have a transitional home called Ashiana, where we can house women and children that are in need. And we also provide services to empower women, not only to bring them out of their danger or the situation that they're dealing with, but to provide them services like educating them, training them, finding them a job or language skills. So all kinds of services are provided. And we really encourage the support of community members like you, because sometimes we can't provide everything. And we depend on you to provide services and support organizations like us, not only in terms of empowering women with what you know, but also fundraising at times. So we really support what you're doing, and we're so proud of what you have accomplished. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to invite Sumitra Ramji, again, a great supporter of women in the community. Over to Sumitra. She was also associated with Balaji's efforts towards this.
Hi, everybody. Respected mayor and councilman, all friends and family. I mean, in my capacity as just a friend, almost family of Balaji and Kavita, I haven't done much in this, but I've been watching their journey. I've known them for quite a while, right? From the time they started this. It's, that's more due to my age. Okay. You know, this is a great honor, not only for Balaji and Usha, it's also an honor for the medal itself. That's the type of person Balaji is. And, you know, he shares this medal, I'm sure, with his wife. You know, they say, behind every successful man is a woman. She walked with him side by side. Many times, I call her my daughter, she led him. He actually, of course, he's a very, now recently we've been talking about sympathy and empathy. You know, what is sympathy and what is empathy? What makes a person go out of his way, fight of all his duties? What makes a person do something for others? Sympathy is when you see something, you're okay, you feel bad. You feel bad and shed a few tears, flip the channel and move on, or write a check. That is sympathy. That's okay. Sympathy is better than not having any feelings at all. But empathy, it makes you feel their pain. the pain of others, the pain of the suffering soul, and we want to do something. Empathy is what actually drives people to do something for that person. I think Balaji and Kavita both have empathy. They feel other people's pain. That's why they do whatever they are doing. I'd like to end with a short story that will explain it all. A few years ago, about 10 years ago in Bangalore, my cousin, she had a friend who had some problems, some domestic problems, financial problems, health issues, everything. And she was so down. She couldn't pick up herself, and none of the friends could help. And he was talking about counseling. It's like that. It's one good soul there also in Bangalore, in her community. My cousin said, "Why don't you talk to him? Maybe he can help you." So my cousin took her to his house. They went there. And this lady was too hesitant to talk about her personal problems to a complete stranger. She didn't say anything. She sat there looking at him and then said, "I'm leaving now." He didn't ask her anything, but he gave her his phone number. He said, you contact me whenever you want. And then gave her the phone number, she put it in a purse and left. Some 3-4 years later, he met her in a party. And she was a happy girl. She happened to be laughing and joking around and everything. He was very happy for her. Went and asked her, "What happened to you? What brought about this transformation in you?" And she said, "I did nothing. I didn't go for counseling or anything. I had a phone number with me. That helped me. That phone number was all I needed to feel better." For many of us, we have Balaji's phone number. He's our brother. He's for all of us, not only for the suffering soul. We all have problems. Everybody has problems, self-doubt, questions, low days. For everything, Balaji is there. You can call Balaji, this is the problem. What do you think I should do? He's there to help. That's what makes Balaji so special. He has helped so many people, not even knowing their names, not even knowing their nationality. He takes them in. That's the greatness. And he's been blessed with a wonderful girl, Kavita Ramaswamy. And the kids, as they mentioned, for the kids to be so selfless and so welcoming of strangers in their house. Amazing. That's a temple. To me, Balaji's house is a temple. God will check, always happy. And he's a happy guy. He doesn't get affected by other people's problems. That's the beauty. He's like Lord Krishna. He never had anything on him. He helped, but no, he never cried. Maybe he cries, I don't know. But never to anybody. Happy always to help. Congratulations. God bless you. God bless you, Kavi. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sumitra. That was awesome. At this time, I would like to invite, I know we are running out of time, I would like to invite those people who have been associated with Balaji in a very close way towards this cause. I would like to invite Ramani from Stage Friends USA. This is an organization, as everybody knows here, some of you may not know, they were doing a lot of cultural, activities as well as they stage plays, every year. But the beauty is, all proceeds is always donated to a charity. For many years, they've been doing this. In fact, yesterday they were in front of the Bridgewater Police Headquarters for a cause. So over to Ramani, Stage Friends USA, just to say a few words. Thank you. Guru.
Yeah, my name is Ramani. Guru is our director. He's been tremendous in producing quality that we are able to bring to the community. Now, enough is said about Balaji. Nothing I will add that will underscore his traits, but a couple of anecdotes just to demonstrate to you how diligent he is when it comes to perfection. Yesterday, we did a press demonstration in front of the Bridgewater Police Department against the recent racial profiling by a couple of police officers. You should see the quality of the posters. And some of those people who were assembled there, non-Indians, non-stage friends guys, they said, guys, we have never seen this level of professionalism. You know, the wooden, what do you call it, placards, amazing. I mean, the amount of attention he gives to the detail is unbelievable. This is one person that I always look up to. It was an idea, came from me, that we should really demonstrate our outreach at this horrendous act. But the next person I made a call to was Balaji, and we made it happen. So that has transformed us. Stage friends, as you know, is our fundamental reason for our existence is to entertain people. But what that event has transformed us into a community organization who can relate to the community and its wants, and we address them. And as Guru would say, we are in a fortunate situation to raise funds. I strongly believe that anytime there is a bank balance, it changes the nature of the relationship within the members. Every one of us is a volunteer. So at the end of every production, we wipe the slate clean, raise, and all the funds that we are raising is donated to a worthy cause. So at this moment, I would like to pledge that our next production, and I'll be, because of this COVID, we've not been able to do it for the last 2 years. I think 2023, we will come up with the next production. I pledge that every cent we will make will be donated to a cause that Balaji will tell us. Thank you. And I think, was it Usha or Devi who said that, Shivaji Ganesan gets an award, so be it. So what? It's an actually honor for the awards than the awardee. So in the same sense, Stage Friends is blessed to have Balaji as our member. I think our relationship goes about 10 years. Every single production, he takes charge of the set productions as well as taking a leading role. And any role he takes on, he puts his heart into it. It's that level of commitment that we are amazed about. Let me pass on the mic to Guru.
I'm running late, so thank you, Balaji. Looking forward to working with you in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Ilangovan, who is also a social worker, to say a few words.
Good evening, friends. It's a real wonderful time to be here. I am Ilangovan. Many of you don't know me. I am a humanist. I belong to a couple of humanist organizations. One is Periyar International, and the other one is Paul Kurtz Institute of Science and Human Values. In fact, I am president of both of them. It is good to celebrate a humanist. How does he get labeled as humanist? First of all, his friends should call him, "You are crazy." And the family should say, why are you doing all these crazy things? Then he becomes a humanist. Honestly, I don't know what Kavita thought at the beginning. She didn't call you, I'm sure, but you did. Okay, then you qualify. I really appreciate her helping him all the way to come to this point. Whatever a humanist does, people recognize. I've learned it, how crazy people can become. I was talking to my niece in Cleveland yesterday, and she said a bunch of her friends are going to Uganda. I said, are you crazy? With the usual word, right? She's going to some health-related causes. And the last year I've been calling my daughter, she's really crazy. Her name is Kani Ilangovan. Some of you might have seen in Time magazine and some of the local TVs and all that. She did something for the Asian community. Thank you for all the mayor and all the New Jersey people. The governor signed a bill that Asian history should be taught in school. That is how we should respond to the bullying. Our kids are being bullied in the school, but we have to fight it out with a positive message. That is humanism. I learned it all from my childhood because my leader was a humanist, and many of you may misunderstand him in several ways. When he was a little boy, he went to a school, he wanted to sip and drink water. He was asked to drink like this, and he choked. Then the little girl, she fell on the floor, banging her head, blood coming out, and cried, "Uncle, did I ask you to get married? Now I am a young widow." That is how his humanism started. That is Periyar. Many of his friends, even the people who do not agree with his ideas, they respected him, like Anand Vivekananda Gemini. Every September 17th, he used to go to Periyar's house with the new clothes. Kalki respected him. These people were all laughed at, yelled at, made fun of. I'm sure a lot of friends, your friends made fun of you. But I saw him in action with the women vigor. Even the most laziest person would jump up and do something. That is the act. And that is what many of our friends followed him to some extent. It doesn't have to be a big thing to get a presidential award or something like that. Each one of us have been doing something, and I'm sure we all can do a little bit of this and that. I'm talking here, but my wife is a better humanist than I am because even when we started, she helped some kid from Bangladesh, some kid to go to medical school, some engineering student, all this stuff we all do in a little bit here and there. When you get a letter from some of them, that night you sleep good, you sleep better. That is humanism. So I see a lot of friends here. I see Ganesh Ramakrishnan. Please stand up for 1 second, Ganesh. This guy, many of you may not know him, but everybody who has helped in America and all over, thousands of people, they recognize him and they respect him. That is what helping others is the most wonderful thing. And Usha and Devi has put together a beautiful show here. I won't call this a show, it's an act of love for Balaji and Kavita and all our friends. I represent a lot of Tamil organizations in the United States. On behalf of all of them, I salute you, Balaji. You are a great man. Kavita, you are a great woman. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Langovan. Yeah, this time I would like to invite the New Jersey Telugu Association Executive Committee, Manju Bhargava, Veni, Swati, and Srinivas Garu to come and felicitate Balaji. Balaji. We actually know Balaji maybe 15 years, maybe now, from Raja days. So today when I told my husband, we are going to meet Balaji, he's like, does he still dance? That was the question. So the smiling Balaji and Kavita, that is our first interaction. And I know that you guys have been determined with this. I met you a few times when you guys were starting this journey, and you have kept at it. We've been following your journey. Keep it up. There's a lot. I know everybody is doing their little bit, but you guys are doing amazing. Thank you for inviting New Jersey Telugu Association and Usha and Devi for making us part of this. Appreciate it. Thank you. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. And I would like to invite Dr. Saravanan from Atma, American Tamil Medical Association. A word about Dr. Saravanan is just an amazing person and a couple, and as a family. During COVID times, they had a COVID helpline globally, right? Local as well as India, 24/7 services were done. Even people who were quarantined, they made a program where there were dearth of doctors in India. So they had a 24/7 here hotline where the physicians were available for video chat with the patients who were quarantined in their homes. So we had the best of the lung specialists, the best of all here, connecting all over United States, going live with them on a video call when they're quarantined because there is no hospital beds available in India. And they were talking to them, not only taking care of their health, but also giving them the motivation to stay strong and come out of this. So over to Dr. Saravanan. Saravanan and Ranjan, they are a magic couple.
Thank you very much for the nice words, Usha and Devi. Regarding Balaji, I think I know Balaji for the last 10 years, I believe. So Usha briefly mentioned about the COVID-19 Tamil Task team. So we created during the COVID crisis. Actually, COVID-19 Tamil Task team helped more than 10,000 people. Webinars, prescriptions for the standard Indian parents, maybe around 2,000, 3,000 prescriptions. We provided shelter, we provided food, we did anything, whatever, masks, PPEs, everything. And here this is regarding Balaji. Balaji is there everywhere. So Balaji helped on the second phase of COVID-19 Tamil Task team. He helped get doctors to get consult. And Kavita is always there to help. So thank you very much, Balaji and Kavita, for doing that. And other thing is very important, reaction team. So I'm also a part of a reaction team. I'm also one of the advisor. I can see what Balaji and Kavita is doing. Phenomenal. They are wonderful people, and I'm glad I'm associated with them. And not only that, I want to say something. Balaji and Kavita, they are representation of many unknown volunteers. So this, and the reason we need to say words about them is this encourage a lot of people to come forward. Okay, and I want to tell one episode about Usha and Devi. One of the time when there was an Indian woman stranded in the airport. Lavanya, the reaction team, tried to reach me. I was in the operating room and reached out Devi and Usha. They took really nice care of that lady until she reached India and all those things. I still remember that. With that, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. And I wish you good luck, Balaji and Kavita. You guys deserve much more than this, and I wish you all the very best. I'll give you.
So I just remember one example I wanted to, as part of COVID Tamil Task team, the second phase, we created this teleconsultation option for people in India and here. And I think a lot of people in India were quarantining at home because they weren't able to get beds or medical help. from TAS team, actually his sister, she created an app where you can like video chat with doctors and you can detect PHI and stuff like that. So in one particular instance, we were not able to get a bed for a patient. He was very critical. I think Balaji, like he does magic. He actually approached the government in Tamil Nadu, like a minister, I believe. He was trying every possible avenue to try to move that person because the person was like a 31-year-old, I believe, had a young kid, and the family was desperate. And he tried every possible avenue to get the patient to a bed. Unfortunately, the patient died. But that's just an example, and multiple examples like that. He also roped in all his doctor friends from India, and we formed a group for teleconsultation, where we were able to, and these doctors were available. Like, you should also remember, these doctors were also taking care of COVID patients, both here and India. And apart from that, they were also available to do all these free consultations everywhere. And the same thing for Kavita. She was there for any immigration-related questions. There were examples where, the wife and the child were in India and the person died here of COVID. So we needed, some expert consultation advice. They were always there. Like I said, like my husband rightly said, they are representative of a lot of volunteers. We had over 300 volunteers, non-medical and doctors. And it was a huge success only because of people like them. And it gives me immense pleasure to be here on this day, to be part of this wonderful meet. I'm sure they do a lot more than this. Is just like the tip of like what they do. We're very happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Nandri.
Hey, Saravanan, can you please stay here for a second? Saravanan, yeah. So, it's interesting. We not only have the gold winner of the President's Award, I'm happy to inform all of you, we also have the President Bronze Medal winner, that's none other than Dr. Saravanan as well. So where is the silver winner? Where is the silver winner? I'm looking for that.
I think everybody in this room should.
Everybody in this room is silver winner. So I don't want to miss it. So Saravanan, that is a great work for your work as a physician, not only helping here and also in India. So congratulations. Thank you.
So, as I said, it's always about the unknown phases of volunteers. Okay? Like 200, 300 volunteers who work really, really hard. So I dedicate this to every single person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan. Keep up the good work. And as Balaji asked me first, right, like why all these things? It's okay. You don't have to. He was like, it was very difficult to convince him to have this together. I said, it's not about you getting the award. It's the reflection, like what we people need to do, right? You're a role model. Every one of us here in this room, awards are just like I think the byproduct of what you do, but the willingness to help, right, be there. So that's the purpose of the gathering today. At this time, I would also like to invite Ganesh Radhakrishnan, who's a serial entrepreneur and advisor in private equities and other things, to give his small token of love and gesture to Balaji. Thank you. And also like to invite Mr. Bala Murali Kodanraman, who is the president of New Jersey Tamil Sangam, just to say a few words. As he is part of the community where we belong to this community organization.
Thank you. I know we're getting late here. Just wanted to say one key thing here. So it's not just, Balaji has done so many things. We want to honor and definitely celebrate. But the thing is inspiration, right? So he's inspiring so many of us to do things like this. And also to know somebody in our community who we can all actually reach out to. Right? That's the great thing. I would definitely want more of us, including me, to actually do service like this and follow the footsteps of Balaji. And New Jersey Tamil Sangam definitely, honored to be associated with Balaji and also the Kavita, who's one of our ex-president, for many years, right? And he has done, like any other organization said, he has done things like even moving chairs, right, to building large sets, production sets and all that, right? So it varies in multiple spectrum. So it's a taboo. People don't speak about these things. And honoring people like him and programs like this definitely bring out, that these kind of topics have to be spoken, have to be discussed, and there's always somebody who we can, rely upon in our community. Definitely an honor to be a part of this. Thank you, Balaji.
Thank you. We have come to almost to the end of the program, the beginning of a great movement, I suppose. That's the purpose of today's event. At this point, maybe just as the organizer, and also I would like to welcome Raghu Garu from the Saidata Peedam. When we started this, we were looking for when it all happened. She was sitting in California, I was working from home, and within a couple of days, this is how the gathering is. 22 organizations came together today. And when we spoke with Saidata Peedam for the venue, we want to take care of the venue, everything we wanted to do, me and Devi. I know that everybody here wanted to contribute in some way, but we didn't want it to make an event like so many, make it logistically a nightmare. So we just thought we both will host this for everybody as a common platform. Saidata Peedam, they insisted, they said Balaji is family. He is not like a person who's extremely religious or something, but as a help to the society, whatever you see here, right, the statues that were installed in the temple, he did it staying awake till 3 a.m. So we all joke like, his name is Balaji, but again, you may not be greatly following all the rituals and religious things, but the God is with you. He wants you there. So, Raghuvar came and said, no, I want to be part of this in some way, right? So, three of us together has put this together for all of you to recognize Balaji and do something each one of us can do for the society. Over to Raghu. He wants to say a few words.
Sairam, Sri Matre Namaha. Thank you, Ji, Prashaji and Devi Ji. And all my Saidata Peedam directors, please come forward. Directors means Kavita Ji, also. Namu Garu, Lakshmi Ji, Subhadrama, then Lakshmi Garu. Please come back. Please, no. I'm not fluent English, sorry. I will try my best. Balaji already, Ushaji told, he's not religious person. He's doing religious works, all religious works. He did all religious, but whatever Seva, that is religion. That is Seva. Very, very nice. Thank you. First, Kavitaji, one of the board of executive director for Saidata Peedam. Last 8 years to continue to doing whatever priest works and other works. She did not take $1 also. She did please, sir. I like Kavitaji. It's very nice. 8 years back, please come here. Balaji and Kavitaji, please. Balaji, I need to here. Kavitaji, I know Kavitaji only 8 years back. I don't know Balaji. After 2 years, Kavitaji, 2016 something, Balaji, whatever puja I did in doing, Balaji name I know. Last 3 years, 4 years to I am friend to Balaji. Now anything I need, I did not call Kavitaji. I called direct Balaji. I called small works and big work. Anything is very great person. I know everybody knows. I am also one of the person is doing temple work, so small work, big work, anything doing very well. I want to wish long term is can go whatever. వారికి మంచి ఆయుష్ ఆరోగ్యం health and health ఇవ్వాలని always my priest ఆశీర్వచనం I am going to give ఆశీర్వచనం and today thank you lot of community leaders came today. Please after function please visit temple. I want to give prasadam and ఆశీర్వచనం after function. Please come inside. All leaders, very great persons today came. Thank you so much. Saidata Peedam, Sri Vishnu Temple, last June we are moving. Please come, whatever we need your support also. Thank you so much. Kavita ji, part of our family. Now I am going to invite Devi ji and Usha ji also. Usha ji also, please. We need support. Going to big things we're going to do. I want to Ashirvachanam and Kavita ji. She's also Saidata Peedam.
Thank you so much, all of you, for coming here for this thing, as Balaji said, it's kind of embarrassing as well because, you know, but thank you, definitely I can say that he deserves it because I'm seeing him every day, right from the morning to, night, even around, because he talks to people, women in India in the nights, because that's the time from around 10 in the, sometimes to 3, because we also have Kanavaham kids. Every day he talks to them for at least 2 to 3 hours. Minimum, I'm saying. So it's, that's how he is, like very little sleep and no TV, every time doing, something, and definitely, I always say, but and never compromise on the family time as well. That's also there. He balance. I don't know how he does it. I can't, because I can't even sometimes pick up the phone when people call, but he never does it. He never does it. All the time. Whenever the commitment is, whenever he says he will call, that time he will call. You can expect a call from Balaji. If he says that this is the time, at least if he's in some other thing, he'll just call the phone, call them and say that, hey, I'll call you this time because I'm in the middle of something. So there's so much to, definitely I have become a better human after this marriage. So I'm very proud of you, and I'm so happy that Usha, Devi, everybody, each and every of you are very close to us, and thank you so much. And Raghuji, my connection with the temple, because definitely this is a place I come here almost every day. So we both are very different. I volunteer him for the services every day. So that's how I did it also, even for the Murtis here, like the Balaji and Amman, he did the eyes and he installed, helped them install. If you see that, if you go and see the Balaji there, like at the little opening, and how they did it is a magic and the miracle of. So he does, anything, like it's out of anybody, any love and care. So we are very proud to be associated with each and every one of you, because I'm sure we see you as a reflection of us with that love and care. That is the reason, we all are together now. And it is, Balaji got that award, but it is, we are sharing this with each and every one of you. So, because I know how, one call, I know all of you. That's how you are there, with Devi and Usha call, you are all there immediately. Thank you so much. And with the temple, like, please, as I said, like, I come here every day, and the energy and the support and, the thing I get is, it's very different. So please visit the temple as well. And thank you again. And thank you, Raghuji, Usha, Devi, yes, Devi. Devi. Thank you so much. And they are proud to be sisters of them. So my Natna. Thank you so much.
Bhavati Dadaya
Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to thank Mr. Chandra. Please come. I spoke with him and he was helping us in arranging the Edison Mayor and the council to be here today. So, Chandra, thank you so much. Please come. You can, yeah, please. Balaji. So here's what it is. People who just came to know about Balaji today, but was helping behind the scenes to make this happen. Thank you again, everybody. This event will not be complete if you guys don't join us for lunch. Okay, so please join us for lunch. Thank you again for being here. Just a beginning for more good things to happen in the community.
Thank you, will be there.
I think